Welcome to 108 Gate. We are doing the Divine Masculine reading. The Divine Feminine reading is loading into the YouTube space. Interesting reading. Definitely, if you're finding things a bit tough or rough at the moment, you might want to check out the Divine Feminine reading. Just bringing in that awareness of where we can accept ourselves on a deeper level, on a graceful level, and kind of eliminate some of this anguish and pain that may be going around right now, just simply by accepting ourselves for who we are. It was quite a touching reading. It was emotionally warm and cuddly in that sometimes when we're seeking support and help from others, we have to find it within ourselves, and that's part of the growing process of understanding that there's just certain things that have to be growing and self-perpetuating in ourselves. So learning to get to grips with that, and it does feel like it's going into the next theme of where our next level of evolution is. So the Solar Plexus tuning fork for this. So those of you who do not want to hear the tuning fork part, you can pause, or you can mute it for a moment, and then when I go back to the card, you'll know it's over. For those of you who enjoy, and thanks for letting me know that you are, I am receiving messages and that you're really happy that these are coming back in. I did used to use tuning forks in my last channel, and again, that's something that I'm healing and bringing back to life in a different way. So we've all got our things that we're working on. So for now, we're going to go into tuning fork. Here we go. So it did feel a bit muted. It felt a bit solemn, and again, like I said, it's kind of, it feels like it's in respect of what the Divine Feminine energy is going through right now. It's like, for example, if a friend is going through something and they're talking about this hurts and then this happened, but they're genuine, like they're not just harping over the same thing over and over again. It's a sincere kind of sharing of a difficulty that's happening, or something that's kind of being realised now, and that realisation is stinging a bit. It's that compassionate moment, that compassionate exchange of listening to that friend, yourself essentially, and in this case, and also feeling heard, feeling genuinely, sincerely heard. So that is a precious exchange that we might not always get. And that's the point. When in the Divine Feminine reading, we want a particular kind of exchange with somebody, or a particular kind of recognition from someone, and we're not getting it. The pain that creates, how do you reclaim that back for yourself? And actually, how do you let go of that expectation of others? How do you let go of that disappointment of not having it the way you want it? And again, it's like, how much is it on them, and how much is it on self, and how much can you reclaim power back from that situation, and just reframe things and recalibrate. Right, so I want to put these here. Don't know why. Let's see if I can do it without creating too much of a hassle. They're just really looking beautiful at the moment, and I think this is a lovely supportive energy. So we've got two different kinds of pearls, and green aventurine. Like I said, it's there, so utilise. Not that I'm gonna cry if it's not there, it's just, it's there, and it just looked really beautiful the way it was in the light, so give you the benefit of it too. Assertiveness, being able and available to take that one step further, being able and available to reclaim your certain aspects that have been distorted and taken for granted, taken advantage of in a way that's not being kind to you. And I said the word cruel in the feminine reading, and it's coming up again that something was very cruel, or if you look back on it, you can see aspects which were cruel and you just kind of tolerated it. No longer. Don't deserve to be treated in that way. You don't deserve to have that kind of response. So kind of protecting self and making sure that you're doing it in a way that's honourable. And what I mean by that, it's not about fighting back, it's not about arguing about it, it's literally getting the clarity. And with that clarity, making yourself secure, making yourself feel known to yourself, reconnecting with yourself, and understanding that I can't simply behave in the same way with this person, that group of people. I have to just do things in a different way. And then this beautifully coming in at this point, cosmic mirror, how do you want to see it coming in? How do you want to bring yourself forward? When you bring yourself forward now from something you've been doing for a significant amount of time, what does it look like when you're empowered? What does it feel like when you're bringing this love and unconditional love and unconditional positive regard back to yourself? Like, you accept yourself for who you are, you accept yourself for the truth of who you are, and not looking for someone else to validate that. Therefore, Ten of Coins comes straight in there. It felt very assertive, very strong, and the value of yourself is just you're going to see parts of yourself you've not seen before. You're going to value aspects of yourself that you've not valued before. So even if you've had certain skills, talents, gifts, it's kind of like you may have felt like you were doing it just for the sake of it, but there's going to be a new appreciation from it, and there's also going to be a new appreciation of past experiences that may not have seemed so favourable, but you're going to see them in a different light. What can I extract from that? What can I repurpose from that? We spoke about that yesterday. The repurposing of something that might look quite shitty on the surface of it, but it's like utilising your resources and making sure that every single thing is being used. It feels very I'm going to be careful with the word I use. It feels very holistic on one level, but that's not the word that's coming to mind. It's very primal, it's very primitive, it's very respectful of nature, it's respectful of where your place is in nature, not overstepping your mark, but making sure that you're understanding that nature provides for us in a respectful manner, but we also have to receive it and utilise it in a respectful manner, not over stretching or over taking from it. We're just being respectful. So with the 8 of Coins right under that 10 of Coins, that's fabulous. So your worth and value in your emotions and your energy fields has to increase first for you to then know. It's kind of it's the opposite to in hindsight. It's kind of like a premonition of this is where I'm heading, therefore now I know what I've got to work on. This is where I want to be heading. I don't know if it's quite viable yet, I don't know if it's an option yet, but if I start working on it, I can start sensing out, is this going to be an option or not, or is this going to happen or not? Is it something that I probably is not sitting quite right, or is it sitting right? But the thing is, the more you are in tune with your higher value, the more you're going to be drawn to the actual things that are worthwhile you building and working on. Again, green aventurine fitting in with a lot of this, and the gentleness from the pearls feels really suitable as well. So you've got the 6 of Wands. Like I said, as you start tuning into your higher value, your more authentic self, your full potential, what is it? What is my full potential? Where do I get this to serve that, to make this, and to make this happen? The victory comes in. As the victory comes in, that's not just one conflicting sword, it's 2 conflicting swords. So the reason it just come into my hand, both of them like that. So this feels like it's the both of them, because as you're building something, this is like something to know now for what's coming up. This might not be happening right now. It's kind of preparing yourself. Like I said, a premonition is like preparing yourself for, as you are going into this phase, I'm building this, I'm building that, and your victories start becoming more apparent. It's showing on your face. It's transmitted in your aura. You can see it in your eyes, you can see it in your smile, you can see it in your step, the way you're speaking and things like that. There's going to be this external source force that is not going to be happy with it, and this is again that ebb and flow of, now it's just a matter of, it's the natural process of like when you're getting to a certain point, it's going to come in, try pull you down. It may be consciously, it may be not consciously. So that's why we don't have judgment, and we don't retaliate to it, because they might not be conscious of this. They might just be doing it subconsciously. Who knows? Fear of losing you, fear of whatever it is. But the point is, you've got to keep going forward with your victory. So as this comes in, because you know that some of them may not be doing it consciously, you may fall into the point of you got your three swords, and you get complacent, and it's like, right, I've said it again, I'm not having this fight. And therefore when they back off a bit, you just kind of take it for granted that, okay, they heard me this time. Don't be so sure about it. They may be going back just to recollect themselves and understand that I've got to have a different strategy. Before, this worked and this worked, and she'd just sit down, or he'd just sit down, and he'd just do what I'd say, and she'd just do what I'd say. They'd adhere to what I need of them. They'd fall into how they see themselves in relation to my eyes, not thinking for themselves, not doing things for themselves, not standing up for themselves. So this is coming in of when you picked up those three swords, pick all of the swords up. Make sure all the things that are threatening towards you, that you felt have been a threat towards you, have been dealt with, have been resolved, have been acknowledged, that you can put up the appropriate protection, you can put up the appropriate boundaries, because it's not going to be surprising if something's coming right back at you, even stronger than before, and kind of pull you into that spiral down, or attempt to pull you into the spiral down. It's about you being savvy now, you refining and finding new aspects of your intuition, your instinct of like, this feels off. Why is it that every time I'm stepping up, certain person, certain thing happens and tries to pull me down again? This is an indicator of, you still need to strengthen, you still need to strengthen, you still need to strengthen. Keep strengthening yourself, renew your strength, renew your connection with yourself. Make it that this happen, if this was to happen, you don't even flinch. You're solid. So this is the next level of your foundation. Your external foundation may be taking a nice, more secure shape. This is about your internal foundation now, to make sure that you're sustaining this that you've built outside of you. This certain part of the foundation that you're getting in place, and you're planning this and you're planning that, and you're seeing it shifting into place. It's about you now having the emotional capacity to sustain it, to protect it, to make sure that you don't get swayed off your track or path again. Let's get the other cards in. That felt really strong as the two coming in. It's like, right, like whatever, two swords left. It doesn't matter, I've collected up these, I don't need these, they've gone now. They haven't gone. It's about being aware of making sure that all of the swords need to be picked up. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, not to get yourself locked into the fear of it, getting into the empowerment of it, being ready for it. Again, Bruce Lee coming to mind. You don't start fighting just for the sake of fighting, but it doesn't mean that you understand that you have those skills within you. If someone comes to you, if someone comes at you, you have the appropriate means, the appropriate way of deflecting it, the appropriate means and the appropriate way to protect yourself, and like, bop, no, you ain't messing with me. And in understanding that you're not doing it in an attacking way, you're doing it in a defense. If you don't attack me, I don't need to defend myself. If you cry, it's your own fault. The value of this is immense. This is where you're going to protect everything you're building. This is how you're going to protect those things that were vulnerable in the past. You need to make sure that this time they get it. There you go. I did say I saw the Eight of Swords. I'm being silent because it's about the strategy now. When you see trouble, don't get scared, don't get fearful, don't go into panic or anxiety or anything like that. Literally stop, assess, ready. What they're going to do. They might not do anything, they might do something. They may simply, even from you just stopping this time and being quiet and being aware of how this it's like when the mood shifts in a room and you're like, right, something's off. Just staying still and staying aware. Literally like seeing Bruce Lee now, just like ready, watching, slowly pacing, not assuming nothing, just there, observing subtle energies, your intuition, your instinct, refining it, strengthening it, renewing it with assertiveness. Rise up, stand stronger and true. Doesn't mean you're attacking, you're simply ready to defend yourself. You know what you've got to do. You want to celebrate certain things. Okay, very interesting energy. Have you got examples of not celebrating certain things, or not celebrating yourself in a particular way, or others stopping you being celebrated because it's just not acceptable for them? It's kind of beyond their comprehension of that you've achieved something. It's like I've just gone hammering at this person, hammering. She's still getting up, and he's still getting up, she's still getting up, they are still getting up. However you refer to yourself, no offense intended. That person, that thing, that whatever it is still getting up and going. How are they doing it? They don't understand the resilience you have. They don't understand the self-respect that is building. They don't understand the strength and assertiveness that you have. And this is where it's going to the renewal is really important. The renewed connection with yourself, the renewal of your higher power, your strength is intense and immense. And it's necessary, but it doesn't come just out of nowhere. You're going to have some things to deal with to be able to understand, like, I got this. Not only have I got this, but I'm mastering it. I'm just going to, yes, in the past I may have got locked up in my own thoughts and in my own fears and in my own insecurities. Not this time, because what I'm building now is worth more than I could have imagined, and I am victorious. I am going to be victorious in more ways than some people can comprehend. Does it matter to me? No, I'm going to keep going anyway. Interesting. A set of cards just flew out. Lovely. I haven't seen her for a while. So you've got the Eight of Swords there and the Seven of Swords here. So the Seven of Swords in this deck is very different to this one. Again, bringing your attention to make sure you've got all the swords. So those two that are left there, not taking it for granted that they won't come back, just making sure that you've cleaned up everything and you don't take anything for granted that oh, I don't need to deal with that. You clean everything up, resolve everything you possibly can, because you just don't know what's going to peek its head back up after. You need to make sure that everything is smart and clean. She's walking off like that. That's all well and good, but you need to make sure you've got those two swords too. Don't just leave them there for someone to use against you later on. Pick them up. If you see them, pick them up. Maybe there's something that you haven't picked up that you need to. There's something you've left behind that you need to clear up. You need to clean up, making sure that you're being open heart, open mind, to make sure that it's shown to you if you need to have it aware to you. Okay, interesting. So this came up like this before the other day. Everything is the correct way up. I've checked them. Tower. The tower's not shifting. So when we got it that way, tower is going to fall. We're going to let the tower fall, blah blah. There's something around the tower being upside down is really significant at the moment, because that's the second time it's come in upside down like that in this deck as well. Somebody's trying to pull down the tower. Someone's trying to pull it down. Someone's trying to diminish the value of things, but you're not going to allow it to happen. Oh God. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Let's just get a third one. Okay. Let's put them here. Let's protect the Queen of Pentacles over here. Tower upside down. It's not falling. You're not allowing it to fall. If you keep getting stuck, I said it earlier, it's either in this reading or the feminine reading. If you keep getting stuck in the they did this to me, they did that to me, she did this to me, he did that to me, they said this and that, you're keeping yourself stuck in the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords energy. This is possibly then what these are representing. And there's not just like one card of it. You've got Seven of Swords here, Five of Swords, Seven of Swords there. On the Eight of Swords. You've really got to go through this with the fine-tooth comb. And I think it's inevitable that we're going to have things coming up that we think we've dealt with, but we clearly haven't. If you're having certain reactions or responses to certain people or certain things, you're clearly getting indicators of something needs working on here. It's deep and it's an emotional thing. It's deep and it's definitely around heartbreak. It's around how we may have over-intellectualized certain things when we need to just be feeling the emotions. Again, that confusion between coins and cups, it's kind of like now is the confusion between how do I intellectualize something but still feel it emotionally. If you intellectualize certain things, you can keep it at a distance and don't have to deal with it in a certain way. It ain't going to work here. We've got to feel those feels. Then the Tower can fall. And even as I put that down, the throat chakra, like a crying motion, just cry, let it out. Seven of Wands in the heart, with the heart. So it feels as though, and I'm going to wrap it up then, it feels as though there's an energy of divine masculine basically seeing that this is not easy, and for so long you've just kind of avoided it, not let the Tower fall, but the Tower, something's gonna crack, something's gonna blow, something's gonna go. It's not gonna always gonna keep going in this cycle. You can't afford to be in this cycle now, especially with Jupiter coming up to Uranus, because if this is intensifying, this is the kind of stuff it's going to be magnifying, and you don't want this increasing. You want to be dealing with it ASAP. We have until about I would say end of March. It's around the beginning of August, beginning of April. I would say definitely end of March. You'd want to be done and dusted with a lot of this kerfuffle here. That's what I would work towards if it was me. So, if you want a personal reading, it's 108gate@gmail.com. Those of you who do not want to hear the tuning forks, see you soon and have a great day. For those of you who are ready, tuning forks, here we go. So for now, peace and love.